What is up, guys? Welcome back to Wrenchingwrecked. Today we are going to mess with the Shovelhead. I know I was hoping to have this done 2 days ago, and then it just kind of got away from me in terms of parts and things going wrong the first time. And it got really nice out, and we had some buddies over, and I got distracted and enjoyed myself. Where we left off, we have all of the wiring bits done. The battery tray is reinstalled. The drain plug in the trans is back in. Primary is on, everything's tightened down, starter solenoid is in. We're pretty much on to the actual primary bits themselves, the actual chain and all of that, clutch basket and those parts. I got the chain soaking in oil, so let's put this back up in the air. And this bench has moved quite a bit. Whoops. Keeps walking on me when it drops down, but that will be okay. So let me grab some parts, start laying this out, throw you guys on the tripod, and we'll start with the clutch hub and clutch basket. Maybe clean up some tools too. Oh, I forgot my snap rings again, I think. I might have to run back to the house once we get that clutch in. We'll see. Let's see how far we can get. So when we get into the primary, first thing we gotta get going here. Ooh, do I have the chain tensioner? Oh yeah, it's on the chain. Woodruff key that you don't want to lose goes into the clutch on the main shaft. Then we have our clutch hub. And pop our tool off for pulling this out. Trying to remember what parts I had for this. So your clutch hub goes onto the Woodruff key here. There's a keyway that'll fit down and then gets tapered and put on there. And then we need our lock gasket and our clutch nut, which I'm searching for right now. Got this. Where's the clutch nut? There's your lock tab. It's got a slot in the back that goes into the keyway. Just like that. Your clutch nut. A little bit of grease on here. And this one is reverse thread. Tighten this clutch basket down. Let me grab the impact and a socket. 1.1 on here. And I'll need my extension. Make sure that stays in the seat before we get this any tighter. That keyway came out. Ooh, don't do that with your pinky in there. That snuck up on me a little more than I wanted, and now we can bend those lock tabs over. But there's your clutch hub installed. He's out. Lots of retaining clips on these. You don't want this stuff coming out on you. go. There we go. All right, clutch basket's on. We can pull our compensator nut off now. And where is my front? Oh crap, did I not grab a front pulley yet? All right, let me run out to the trailer. I think I was too busy worried about the rear clutch hub, but I don't know if I grabbed the front pulley yet, so do some digging. On to the, I totally forgot about that. If we're running the belt drive, this is a direct drive sprocket that mounts up right here, well, this way, onto here, and then you got your big nut and washer that'll kind of hold that in. Do a stock setup with the chain, so we need a couple more parts. You got your, is this the one we're using? This piece. So I'll lay this out before we do final install. That guy goes on there. And we have our keyed one. Come on. Your gear, like so. So this will drop in, line the splines up, that'll go in. Then you got the spacer, toothed spacer. This will basically give a little bit of slop in the chain, moving back and forth. Then you get your outer cover and your bolt, which will thread in like so. A weight, counterweight or whatever, and then your chain goes on together as one unit. So we have everything here now. Just start laying this out. Just clean this up a little bit, throw a little bit of lube on the main shaft, and then get this thing rolling. I got the primary chain soaking in oil down here on my left side, but we're just gonna lay all of this out first. So we got that guy on. Pre-lubed all of this stuff. Then we need, how do I want to do this? Everything's going to be so oily. Let me grab the chain. Got this sitting in a bucket of oil, so maybe I'll pull that out and let that dry a minute first. At least drip. It's not going to actually dry, but at least drip dry a bit. Throw a towel down here. Ooh, one oily mess of a chain. Let that gravity drip for a bit. I had those soaking just because they've been in my trailer for a minute. And they weren't in the cleanest of shape. Not beat up or anything, but a little bit of surface rust on there. So rollers are all fine. There's no kinks or binding on that chain. It'll be just fine, but might as well let it soak and now drain. So let me close up the trailer and we'll come back and slap these together. We're back. This thing's been drip drying for a little bit. Now we're kind of onto the dirty side, so hopefully I don't have to touch the camera too much here. But we can get all these bits laid out now. So I'm going to pop this back on the motor first. So that one is good to go. Now I am going to drop the clutch basket and the front sprocket on here first into the chain. Otherwise, it's almost impossible to wrestle these around. So we'll cue all of this up as one big piece. Cover all of my tools that I didn't put away in oil. And now we have sprocket. We should throw some grease in here, huh? It's brand new after all. So we'll re-grease up the clutch hub here too. Got to be careful with that because that is floating at the moment. And then we'll throw some grease around the clutch hub itself. Okay, I'll wipe my hands off just to get them dirty again. Now, clutch hub and starter and all the bits will go on here together, provided all of our parts are correct, which they should be. Pull our primary up to the adjuster, and that's on backwards. Whoops. Chains on backwards, rather. Come on. Nobody caught that. Go clutch basket first because it's the biggest. Go around the shifter. Then this guy will come in up here. This onto our clutch basket. Get this on here. Slides all the way in just like that. That's the rough bit. Now, our tensioner. There's a pin on the back side of this that rides in the tensioner groove, and then there's teeth on the back side, so when you tighten this down, it'll bite into wherever it gets tightened to. We'll get to that in a little bit. But now, we have a chain in on the clutch basket. The clutch basket's in and installed. Wipe some of the excess grease out of here. Don't need that in our clutch. I wanted it on the bearings. I didn't want it on the actual clutch basket at all. So a little bit of cleanup in here. And we'll throw a little bit of grease on the end of the clutch push rod too. Later. There we go. Now, our last little bit is our other part of the compensator, the toothed part. Come on. Like that. And then the last one's going to be our actual weight here, which we're going to throw some Loctite on. And then this guy, reverse thread. You could take the bolt out and do this separate, but I'm going to try and jam these in together. Sorry, not reverse thread. The clutch is reverse thread. This is normal thread. Why is this not going? Is this bolt in good shape? I might have to run back out to the trailer. Can't really see. Huh. Why is that not threading on? Are these shot? Or I might have the wrong bolt. All right, let me check for a better bolt. I was messing around with the threads on that. I kind of picked and chose. I got a handful of bolts for the primary, so I just had to find the best one. There's a little bit of corrosion built up on the threads of that last one, so it took a little bit to get that going, but now we are in good shape. So I just messed up and put this on too early. Gotta get that guy on. Pull that clutch out. Don't lose your bearing retainer. There we go. I never prepped the end of the crank or anything yet, so just kind of trying to figure out how all these bits go with the hodgepodge of what we got in the trailer. But now we have a bolt and a compensator set up, ready to go. Just like that. And we'll do a dab of Loctite on here. Just needed to make sure that there was enough meat to grab the threads and make sure it's going in proper. I'll show you the other bolts here in a second when I'm done doing this. It is the end of your crank, so you want to make sure those are in good shape, but whatever chewed up the teeth, I think nicked a couple of the threads on the primary as well. Now we got this going on. These are what I was working with. This one was the crustier one, but that's the one we tried originally. The outer thread is definitely nicked up pretty good. So it was getting stuck right there. Now, pretty good. Almost there. I might have the wrong cup now. Why is this my life? Back to the trailer. I hit a snag. So I had all this trying to tighten it up using some of the compensator bits, but I have such a hodgepodge of old parts that can't find a complete setup. I got most of it, like I got all of this, but I don't have the right length bolt to get in there comfortably. So I think what we're gonna do instead is order up a new front compensator. When I tighten these down, it doesn't snug up enough where this guy's just kind of free spinning on there. I don't really like that. We can also get rid of the compensator sprocket by putting a solid fixed motor mount one up front, which I prefer. And when we get that on there, then it's just a direct drive. None of the extra noisy bits or complications of all of the extra weight off that crank as well. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get that ordered today. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait a little bit. Can't really do the clutch or anything else until we get that front solidified. I was hoping, I think I have enough parts here to actually hodgepodge something together, but I kind of just want to throw a new sprocket on there and do a direct drive. I think it's going to be a little bit cleaner. If I change my mind, we'll come back. But for now, that's pretty much as far as I can get for the day without that front sprocket. Let me see if I got any buddies holding on to anything, but odds are we will have to hold off a little bit. So we'll catch you on the next one.